Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm fixing my phone just a little bit. Just a little bit. How are y'all? Hello. Hello. I have to do my makeup early today. I always have to get situated after I turn y'all on. I hope y'all realize that 90210 is, I'm Shannon, by the way, Shannon Reed. Hello. I hope y'all realize that 90210 is starting again tonight, y'all. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So, if you watched 90210 when you were in high school or college, like I did, then would you like to know some ways to look younger now? Because I've got 10 tips of how to look younger now using makeup. Hey Jordan, how are you? I hope you're doing good. So this crazy hair, y'all, it is nuts, but we are going to dive in and start on these tips because I was very excited. You know that a lot of times, it's funny, sometimes this thing will ask me to tag other people in the video, and it's like it doesn't know who I am. It's so weird. What was I saying? So I research a lot of times what I'm going to talk to y'all about, and I look up makeup artists, and I get their point of view and magazine articles and experts, and I always try to find the best information. Hey Lucy, for all you guys, so that I'm not just telling you what I think, because I am not a professional makeup artist. I am not an esthetician. I am just a girl who plays in makeup all day, and this is just what I do. So the good news is, I'm going to keep messing with my hair. I'm going to try not to. The good news is that when I did the research, and I went to several places and looked up lots of information, actually, and most of the information, almost all of it really, y'all, it's stuff I'm already doing on my lives. So if you're watching my lives already and you are in the over 40, over 50 crowd, then you're already getting this information. I was already doing it. So that is good news, right? So I was already on the right track. Yay. So these are tips to use makeup to help you look younger. All the time when I'm doing these live videos, I get comments, or I'll have people message me and they want to know, how did you make your under eyes look like that? How did you do this? What did you do? How did you do your brows? How did you do that? So, and I always tell you guys and share with you whatever you want to know, but I know that it's something that we all are curious about. We all want to look our best. Good morning, Janie. How are you? Good morning, Eric. Good morning, everybody. So we want to know, hold on, I'm going to grab something here I'm going to need in a second. We want to know how to look younger, right? So let's hop right in. And if you join us later and you miss some of them, you can always go back and watch. If y'all would do me a huge favor, if you would tap my nose and hit those 3 buttons and hit to follow me and hit to be notified whenever I go live so that you don't miss it. Also, if you will share this with your friends, I would love that. If you get value from my videos, I'm always trying to grow my audience and my friends and people that are interested in this. So if you have friends that are interested, I would love it if you would share it with them, y'all. Hey Regina, how are you? Good morning. Are you having a great day? I am. It's been a great day. Okay, so the first tip, I'm going to dive right in, is to, and I say this all the time, you want to prep your skin. You want to moisturize your skin. Dry skin does not look good. It makes your wrinkles stand out. Hey girl, how are you? Dry skin is not going to do you any favors, especially when you're older. So we don't want dry skin. We want to prep our skin. We want to make sure it's moisturized. You want to use a moisturizer that is appropriate for your skin type. I recommend using a face oil at night if you don't want to during the day. So you want to keep your skin moisturized, and definitely moisturize your skin before you do your makeup. So if you, when you do that, then you're going to want to let it sit for a couple of minutes before you dive in and start putting on your foundation and adding everything to it. So give it a minute before you start your foundation, but definitely moisturize your skin. I've already done that this morning. I am a big proponent of moisturizing my skin, so you can see that it kind of shines and glows, and that's what that's what your skin should look like. So you should have a little bit of a glow, but it shouldn't look greasy. So that's what you want it to look like before you start with your makeup. The second thing is, and we're going to dive right in for this one, you want to use sheer coverage. You don't want to have your makeup be too heavy. So this is a big deal. Whenever you get older, the more products you think you want to cover up, right? I mean, I've got this beautiful age spot here. If y'all have watched me, you know I've gotten it lasered off a few times, and it is so sweet. It keeps coming back. Keeps coming back for more. Hey Tracy, how is everything over there today? So it keeps coming back, and I have a few little dark areas under my eye, especially on this side, so you can see those. So our instinct, I think, is to cover everything up. If you use makeup, Tracy doesn't, I already know that. But if you use makeup, you want to cover it up because you're trying to look younger, right? I hope are these bothering y'all? I can move my hair over them. But that is the opposite of what we want to do, because the more makeup, the more products you put on your face is going to actually make you look older. The heavier your makeup is, it's going to settle into your fine lines, and it's going to just make your wrinkles, any kind of creases in your face, it's going to accentuate those, and you're going to look older. So what we want to do is we want to do a BB cream, and we want to make that as light as possible but with the most coverage as possible. So we want to make it light. So that's what I do. If y'all watch me, that's what I do most, like 90% of the time, is I will get some of my foundation on my diffuser brush. Using a diffuser brush is going to also help you create a lighter coverage than using a beauty blender or a sponge. So if you like using a beauty blender, go right ahead. If you like using a sponge, go right ahead. But it is going to make you look younger if you have lighter coverage, and a diffuser brush is the way to go for that. So now I've got a couple of drops of Due Date, and that is a face oil. And so I'm going to blend those together, and that's going to create a BB cream. So you can do that. You can create that with what you already have. A lot of you, what you already have. So if you have face oil and you have foundation, you don't have to go out and buy a BB cream. So I'm just using, and whenever my hair, y'all, my hair is just everywhere. Whenever you use this brush, whenever I put this brush on my face, I'm using it lightly. I don't press down really hard, and you'll find that sometimes you'll get some little lines in your foundation as you do that, but have no fear. You can go back over it with a flat foundation brush, just lightly, and that will erase those lines. It's kind of like using an eraser on a pencil. So do that. And we're just lightly going over. And you can see that the wax-based foundation that I'm using, it goes on very, very easily. And it doesn't create that mask look. if that makes sense. And it's not settling into my lines. I've got a little bit on my right hand side, but most of it is on my left. I wanted to kind of show you all the difference. And I have a lot of freckles. I'm a redhead. I have a lot of freckles, and I do not try to cover up every freckle. I just try to, hey Luanna, I'm not trying to cover up every single freckle. I'm just trying to give my skin, you know, cover up the dark spots, any really glaring hyperpigmentation. But I am not trying to cover up every single thing because we want to keep it light so that we will look younger. So it's a little counterintuitive, but trust me, this is what I do, and I have people comment all the time about that I look younger. So you just want to keep it light. So this is the part that really bothers me, and see how I just erased that? It just went right away. So it's super easy, and it doesn't take a long time. So we have eye doctor appointments today. My daughter does, and I've got to get glasses because I lost mine when we were in Florida. I don't know how that happened. We've gone over it a million times and we just can't figure it out. So I've given up looking for them. I'm getting new ones. So this is what we do. Just use that diffuser or a sponge, but like I said, a diffuser is going to give you that lighter coverage, and always err on the side of lighter coverage because you can always go back and add more later, but it's really hard to take it away. So just lightly cover. I'm going to have to use some concealer on that age spot as usual. We're going to use a little bit more foundation right there. And I am mixing this with my Due Date face oil. Okay, we're almost finished with foundation. There we go. And you want to blend it down your neck. Also, just a bonus, this is not one of the 10, but you want to always use your skincare products on your neck. That is going to really help you stay looking young too. That's one of my problem areas. So there we go. I'm going to do just a tiny bit more without BB cream and pat that on. There we go. We always want to erase that one. Okay, so we've done that. So now the next thing we're going to do is the next little tip for looking younger and using some makeup to look younger is to light up the lines and under eyes. So it says, you know, you want to lighten those dark circles, lighten the areas under your eyes, and the fine lines, you want to lighten those up, and that is going to make them look better. So there's a little trick with that too, right? Because if we use concealer under our eyes, it tends to settle in our fine lines. So we want to be very careful about that, and we do not want to use very much concealer. I have told y'all this for a long time, that we watch these girls on Instagram or makeup videos, and they're 20 something years old, and they put these huge amounts of concealer under their eyes, and I mean, it is just this big old amount of concealer, and then they pack powder on it. And y'all, we can't do that. If you're in your 40s and have fine lines, if you're in your 50s, if you're in your 60s, we can't do that anymore. So we have to find a new way to apply our concealer under our eyes so that it's not going to do that. It's not going to settle into those fine lines and make us look older. So I still have not, I didn't get out my little concealer brush. Usually I use a brush for this, and I love my brush that I use, but I didn't get it out yesterday, and I forgot to get it out today. So we're just going to go ahead and you can use your finger too, and we're going to pat concealer. Hey Karen, how are you? We're going to pat it very gently, and you can see I'm not using a lot. I'm using very little. It was just enough to be on my finger. But this concealer is great because it is a full coverage waterproof concealer, but it does not accentuate my lines. And as I've told y'all before, I've used literally the very top of the line concealers that are made all the way down to stuff you find at the drugstore. So I've used the Clé, I don't know how to say it, y'all. Clé de Pau or whatever. I'm probably saying that totally wrong. I'm sure the people at Neiman Marcus would not be impressed. But I've used that concealer in the past. It's very expensive. It does last a long time, but I found that this concealer actually works better than that one. I've always had these fine lines, for the last at least 10 years. So they started under my eyes a lot earlier than they do with some people. It's just genetics, a lot of it. I mean, you can do as much as you can do, but when it comes to things like this, if it's starting early, then it's probably just your genetics. So you can see the difference in these two sides. I mean, it's huge, right? It's a huge difference. It really does lighten up that area, and it already lifts my eyes. Do you see that? This eye, the corner of this eye looks lifted where this one doesn't, and it's because of that lightness underneath my eye. So that is how you get that. But you cannot use a huge amount of concealer. I think we're going to see with these tips as we go that a lot of the tips of using makeup when you want to look younger is going to be a less is more strategy, which is great. That means that you're not going to have to use a lot of product. You're going to be able to use products a lot longer than you would, maybe than you already are using. If you're using makeup and you're trying to cover stuff up, and it seems like the more you're covering it up, the worse it's making it, and that's probably the truth. So I apologize, I'm using my finger, but I've got to look for that brush. So see what a difference that made, just doing that, just doing a little bit of concealer under my eyes. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to put a little bit on our eyelid too to prep our eyelids. I pretty much use this as primer for me. I really like this concealer as a primer. I've used other primers. I've used the Urban Decay that everybody loves. I can't stand it. It makes my eyeshadow really hard to blend. So I just prefer to use concealer. It saves a step. I do use spray primer a lot. I forgot to do it today, but I do have a spray primer that I use a lot too. And And it does make your foundation go on better if you remember to do that. And I like a spray primer as opposed to a cream primer because it's lighter, and again, it's just going to keep less is more. So a spray primer when you're older over a cream primer. Hey Shelly, how are you this morning? You doing good? I hope so. So there we go. So now we've got our concealer. We're talking about how less is more. As you get older, you want to use less products, less. I'm gonna hold on, y'all. I'm getting a scrunchie. I'm gonna pull my hair back in a scrunchie because it's driving me insane. So we're gonna put this mess up. It's just so much easier to do my makeup when my hair is up. So y'all get to see me pineapple my hair. This is how I wear it at night. Good morning. So this is how I wear it at night, y'all. It makes it so much easier, but here we're gonna do that, and then we're going to we're gonna do this. We gotta get the pineapple going. Okay, it's still kind of crazy, but at least it's not in our way. Come on, hair. Y'all just think you have hair problems. Wait, if you have curly hair, then you know what I'm saying. Okay. There we go. That's so much better. Now I can deal with the makeup without the craziness of the hair. Look at all these little spirals, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the next one is fill in your eyebrows. So, but there are rules. It says, full brows are synonymous with youth. This was on the thing, and I wrote it down because I'm like, yes, honey, it is. So fill in with a pencil and then define and tame with a gel if you want to do that after. So you can do both of those steps, or you can just do one. But I really like to use a pencil, or this pencil. I just started using it. Y'all probably watched me the first few times. So you want to do that. You want to fill it in and then tame them. And you don't want to keep them too thin, because thin eyebrows make you look older, and you don't want them to be too perfect. You want them to be just a little bit, untamed, but not crazy, but just not just perfect, right? So you can see that I have a lot of areas that have to be filled in because my eyebrows are not perfect. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. See? Y'all can see I've got some places that are really sparse. And so that's why I need to use a brow pencil, and it's going to make me look younger by doing that. So let's start with that. And I'm trying to decide. Actually, I'm going to start with the lighter one, and we'll go back because I've been using the medium one, and let's try the lighter one today, and then I'll go back and add a little bit of the medium. So when we do our brows, remember you start on the outside. This is where you start, right there. Then you want to do your arch. You want to do it at an angle from your outside of your nose through your pupil, and that's where your arch should be. And then you should end with this angle. So that's how you do your brows. Then you want to do short strokes. Short strokes up. And if you get them too heavy, or you get some lines that are just too thick, then you can go through with your spoolie. That's that little part that you brush your eyebrows out with. And you can break up those lines so that it doesn't look too, you know, you don't want it to look solid. You want it to look like this. You want it to look like little strokes, like it as your natural brow. That's going to give you the younger look. Not the, you know, completely, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. Just the really groomed, over-groomed brows. So you can see I'm just doing short little strokes, filling in when I need to, following my brow line. And brows frame our face, so it's very important to do. Hello, Alice. How are you doing today? We are talking about how to look young using makeup, how to look younger. Did y'all watch 90210 the first time around? I know I did. And those girls, have y'all seen them? They're doing all their press junket and everything. They look amazing, and they're our age, y'all. I'm great. So you don't want to make your brows too thin. You want to follow that natural line and just really fill them in, but using soft upward strokes. Like that. So that's going to be the most, and I'm not even going to use that medium pencil. I think that looks fine just like it is. I don't think we need any more. So that's going to be the way to make your brows look younger. That's going to help you look younger overall. The next thing is for your eyeshadow. So the key is for looking young, and y'all know that I use some crazy eyeshadow sometimes. Sometimes I use neutrals. I use them all. But we're going to follow what this says, what the tips say, and I agree with it. And there's a lot of these that I already do. So you want to use neutrals. You want to blend. You want to use mostly matte colors. And I say this too, I think that it's okay to use a shimmer color as long as it's not too shimmery and it is not your whole eye. You want to use that as like an accent, not the whole eye. But you want to use lighter colors on the inside and on your lid, and use the darker colors only on the outer third of your eye. So about that much of it is all you're ever going to use the darker colors on, and that is going to keep you looking younger. And that what that does is it helps your eyelid not look droopy. And I've naturally been doing this for a long time. Hey Jen, how are you? I've naturally done this for a while because I have hooded I can't talk. I have hooded eyelids, and so I have used the lighter colors on the inside and then only darker colors on the outside for a long time, because that's also a technique for hooded eyes, which makes a lot of sense because hooded eyes are naturally more droopy. So as you age, a lot of people are getting more of a droop, and I'll see people that say, oh, I have hooded eyes, and I'll look at them and I'm thinking, you know, I don't know that you really have hooded eyes. I think your eyelids may just be, you know, that's just with age, they have gotten like that. So that is one way to keep your eyelids from looking droopy. And that's going to be good. So I'm using just a very, very light neutral matte color. It's a cream color. It's actually called Cream Boat. And it is one of my favorites. And I'm actually down to the pan on these. I have 2 going and I've just about out. So that will be on my next order for sure. I love this color. I'm just putting this neutral color everywhere. The other thing you want to do is you want to have a highlight color. I may have gotten that on my, we'll fix my brow in a minute. I think I got that a little bit on my brow. But you want to keep you want to highlight on your brow bone. So if you're going to use a metallic, this is a great, or a shimmer, that's a great place to do it. It's just on that brow bone. What did I do with that pencil? There it is. I got a little bit of eyeshadow on there. I'm going to touch it up real quick. Use that highlight on your brow bone, and that is going to really, really help. Because it's going to draw your eye up and your eyelid up. It's going to draw your eyelid up to have that hey Christy, it's going to draw your eyelid up to have the shimmer there. It's going to actually make it look lifted just by putting a little bit of highlight on the brow bone. So that's why you do that. And then we're going to do, I'm going to do another just very light matte color, hey, on my lid. And this is a brighter, lighter matte color. And it's called, it's like a pink. I forgot the name of it exactly, but it's a pink. And so, but it's super, super light. So it really, I mean, you can definitely tell, especially in pictures, because the pigment really picks up. But you can tell that it's just super light, and it doesn't appear to really have a pink pigment to it. Can y'all tell? And then you want, so if you're going to use a shimmer, a great place to use it is going to be here. And here. Another thing that makes you look youthful is wider set eyes. So when you put the lighter color in the inside and the darker color on the outside, then that's going to pull your eyes to the outside, that darker color. And so the inside is going to look bigger and the outside is going to look smaller, and that's going to create that illusion of having wider set eyes. So we're going to put that highlight right on the brow bone. See how that shimmer, and then I don't have it over here. See how it lifts? It's pretty cool. My sister is an art teacher, but I know how to do makeup. So, there you go. That's some art, right? I don't know if that counts. I guess makeup artists, I mean, you know, they do some really crazy stuff. So there we go. So now let's do, hey Robin, how are you? How is everybody? So we're learning how to look young. We all want to look a little younger, right? So now we're going to do our darker color on the outer third. And I'm not going to go really dark. I'm going to do it's called Taupe for the Best. And so it's a taupey color. And it's not super dark. And we're just going to keep it right there on that outer third. And the key also, and this is what it says in the article too, is to blend. And I say this all the time. You've got to blend, blend, blend. You don't want any harsh lines, because those will make you look older too. I love this article because it does have a lot of the things that I've said for a long time on these videos. It just confirmed them, and I have picked up these tips. Most of my makeup tips I've picked up from other makeup videos that I've watched, and so this was really good to know that these are all things that we were already doing, y'all. We were already doing it. I'm going to go back in with that cream boat. Y'all, I'm down to the pan. I'm going to have to place another order. Whew. Okay. I ran out of a lot this month. It was one of those months. So I just want to make sure we've got that lighter color. So see how that picked up that outer edge and it looks lifted? That's from just doing that. We're going to do it over here. Make it match. So who's watching 90210 tonight, y'all? Who is? We may have to tape it. I think we've already got a band concert. Can you believe this? We've got band camp. So we've got a little band thing tonight for Joe. Getting them used to performing and back in the swing of things. So I'm just blending that out, keeping on the outside. So there we go. So what do y'all think so far? Do we like it? So you can see we've already lifted my eyes so much from when we started. If you were here when we started, then you would know that this is a huge improvement. I'm going to pack a little bit more. I'm going to use this flat brush, and I'm just going to pack some of that lighter color to make it pop. You don't want to get too much, because too much powder is going to give you those lines. So it's just a little bit, and it's just to make it pop. So I'm just lightly putting on a little bit of that really light pink right there on my lid, just to make sure you can see it and that it pops a little bit. I'm going to go back. I'm going to just do a little bit more of that. And let's just make sure we've got enough on that brow bone. Just a little bit more. Not much. We don't want to overdo it. So there we go. So now we've got that going, y'all. Yay! So nobody's told me, are y'all going to watch that show tonight? 90210? We're going to be sad that Dylan's not there. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, Wendy. I'm so sad Dylan's not going to be there. Okay, the next thing it says is you want to use a brown eyeliner, which is another thing that we already do, y'all. We already do that whenever I'm doing my videos. We use a brown liner. Brown is going to be softer than black, obviously, but that's what you want to do. You want to have a softer line, and you want to define the lash line with the brown liner. So we have liners now. and I have them where they should be here anytime, any day now. So we'll use those and see. But for a long time, I've used eyeshadow as liner because I like that softer look. I've always liked that softer look, and it's easier for me to control, I feel like. So you want to define the line. So you want to go in and define that area where those lashes are. And you want to just really go into like between every lash. And the reason why you're doing that is to give your lashes fullness. Again, I've already said this. I've already said this on my other videos. So, this is not anything new for y'all. If you're using eyeshadow and you feel like it's not, it's just not like a crisp enough or dark enough, or you can't get it to go on well enough, then you can wet your brush with setting spray, and that's going to help you with that. But I'm just really going right to my lash line, and see how I'm just really getting it in between those lashes. Hello, Tanya. How are you? So you just want to pack it in between your lashes and just make sure you're going all the way down to that lash line. I have always done this already because, again, I was not gifted with full lashes. I've needed that volume. And then you don't really want to go under your eye. And I'm going to clean that up in a second. We'll clean everything up in a minute. But you don't want to really, I'm going to do this and then you'll see what we're going to do. This is one thing I learned today. And I've done it before, but now I'm going to do it a lot more. And that is, you don't really want to do anything underneath your eyes. You really don't even want to put very much mascara on your lower lashes, because that's going to make your eyes up here droopier, and it's going to enhance any kind of darkness you have under your eyes. So you do not want to put anything under your eyes or use very much mascara. So see how I'm pressing that in and then smoothing it out? Okay. And it does make your eye, I think it really does lift your eyes more just to leave it like that. So I'm going to blend just a little bit with my favorite brush here. We're going to blend that line just a little bit. We don't want anything to look harsh. So we're just going to blend it a little bit. There we go. Yay. I like that, y'all. I really do. I think that I learned some really good tips. I mean, I kind of just, you know, confirmed what I already knew on a lot of things. And then it also gave me a few new tips, which is about the under eye stuff. So I have concealer under my eye, but I'm just putting on just a little bit more to make sure that there's no product, no eyeshadow that got there. Make sure that that line, you want to always have that line be straight at that, well, at that angle, just like that. So that there's no eyeshadow below that. That's going to make your eyelid look droopy too. You want that line to be no eyeliner past that. Make sure there's nothing under this eye either. Okay, voila. All right, so let's go to the next one. We're going to do, we smudged it to make it softer. Okay, use mascara. Use mascara mostly on the upper lashes. And it said, just what I said before, if you, oh, it says heavy eyelashes can make you look older. So just forget about buying any more you know, lashes. If you are going to use false lashes, buy the ones that are the wispies, and the ones that you can put maybe just some, you know, stick a few individual ones, because you don't want anything that's going to make your lashes appear heavy. That's going to make you look older. Also, you don't want to do very much on the bottom. Like they said, it's going to make your eyelids look droopy and accentuate any dark circles. So I'm going to go in, and you got to start at your base and wiggle it and pull up. That's going to give you the most volume. My length is okay, but my volume is, I don't have just a huge amount of lashes. That can happen with age too, but it also is genetics. I've never had just these huge, thick eyelashes like some of you have. So I'm just wiggling it and pulling. Wiggle, pull. And that is going to give me that volume. We've already packed the eyeliner, the eyeshadow on there, so that that's helping with the fullness, and then this even helps more. I love it. I'm loving it. Y'all, it's so hard to talk whenever you're doing mascara. I get so quiet. I'm sorry. I can really tell a difference though, doing my eyes like that. I mean, it was just subtle little changes that I made, but I can really tell a difference on how much more lifted they look, because that's something I really struggle with. And like I said, I'm not going to do much on these. Just going to put a teeny tiny amount. How did I get mascara under there? How did I do that? We'll get that off with a spoolie. That's what spoolies are for. All right. So, we'll let that dry. Okay, the next one is add blush on the apples of your cheeks. And they didn't say this, but I will tell you that you want to use small strokes, kind of press it, and then just do small strokes up and away. You want to use a shade that is 1 to 2 shades darker than your natural cheek color. And if you don't want to know what your natural cheek color is, splash your face with some cold water, and it should bring out your natural cheek color. And so that's a way to do that. You also want it to be a bright color. You don't want it to be a dull color. So I'm going to use this color that's a pink, and it is a brighter pink color. And you don't want to go overboard with this. Just press it and then do small little strokes upward, away. See how that lifted my cheek? Because you're going to lose collagen, and it's going to be really hard to get that. I love that color. It's one of my faves. Okay, then the other thing you want to do is you want to take a bronzer that's a little bit darker. Oh, the other thing is about powder. So let's talk about powder. You want to use powder for a minimum. If you need powder, if your face is naturally just really shiny and, oily, then use it in your T-zone, but really don't use it up under your eyes. And I've said this forever, that is going to accentuate any fine lines you have. I cannot do it. I've tried it. I know a lot of people want to set their foundation or their concealer. The trade-off for me is not worth it. So don't do that. If you are over 40, you want to go around your jawline all the way around with that darker color. And yes, this is powder, but you're putting it on a part that's really not showing a lot of wrinkles anyway. So it's going to be okay. So that's going to help lift that area when you do that. And then you can put just a little bit in this area, but not much. Just way back there. Just to create a little bit of depth. That's going to help lift it and make your face look thinner. And again, you're putting it in a place where your face is probably doesn't have a lot of wrinkles anyway, so that's going to be okay. And you're not using much. And let's see. Okay, let's see. What else? What else? So you don't want to do anything that's going to make your skin look dull. So when we use too much powder, it makes your skin look dull. The natural skin does not shine through, and then it's just not good. Okay, so lips. This is a big one. For lips. Natural lips, whenever you're young, they're fuller. So you want to create that fullness again, right? And I think I don't have, hold on. We're going to get out my lip liner. So what you want to do is you want to get a nude lip liner, And you want to use that to line your lips, and you're going to slightly, not crazy, but slightly overline your lips. And that's going to create a fullness. And you really want to make sure that you do that on your bottom lip, because your bottom lip is what, hold on, I got to sharpen this. See, I can sharpen it. That's sharpening it. Isn't that cool? So now it's sharp. So the bottom lip, a fuller bottom lip looks a lot more youthful than a fuller top lip. So you want to make sure that sorry y'all, that bottom lip is full. So we're just going to overline. Lightly. People think that a dark color is going to make you look younger because it's going to make your lips look bigger, but actually dark colors diminish and light colors increase. So when it's just like wearing white. You know, people are scared to wear white because it's going to make them look fat. People think black makes them look smaller. And that is true. So to some degree, that is true. So you want to use colors that are lighter and brighter and shinier, and that's going to make your lips appear bigger. So you can see my lips already look way bigger just by doing that. And then you're going to want to use a sheer pink color, which I have the perfect sheer pink color that I've been using that I absolutely love, and we're going to use it. See how sheer that is? And I'm just going to mix that liner with the pink. You can use a brush. And then we want to have a lip gloss, because lip gloss is going to make your lips look bigger. And this is actually my new favorite color. I love this combination. So what do we think? Y'all, I have a few, dogs are gonna start barking. I have a few other tips. If you want to know them, you can message me and I'll be happy to share them with you. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, comment. I love that kind of stuff. Tap the little 3 buttons in the corner and you can follow me. And I will talk to y'all next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.